What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. And today we got the off season, man. It is a sad end of the season. We lost to Stanford in our bowl game. We missed out on a perfect year. We went 11-2 this season, which including the bowl game, went 11-2, and that gives us a bowl record of 1-3. So we got to do better in these bowl games. We got to do slightly better versus top 25 competition. Right now we're 8-5 in that category. New Orleans Bowl, you got Louisiana Lafayette losing to Temple. Nevada, they would lose to Boston College in the Champ Sports Bowl. GMAC Bowl, you got UTEP over Toledo. Central Michigan would beat Pittsburgh. SMU would fall to Virginia Tech. UCLA, they would beat TCU. Hawaii, they got beat down by Houston. Louisiana Tech, they would lose to Florida State. Northwestern would beat Northern Illinois. San Jose State would get the upset versus Colorado. I'm going to just call it an upset because I think that's what it would be. USC, they put hands on USF. Iowa State, they fall to Iowa. NC State, they would beat Cincinnati. Texas A&M puts hands on FIU. There goes our game in the Emerald Bowl. Georgia Southern comes up short versus Stanford. Texas Tech, they would lose to Washington State. Washington State had a good season. Holiday Bowl might be a little not the bowl they wanted to be in, but hey. Michigan will beat a team from Ohio, Miami of Ohio, 57-21. Oregon would lose to Minnesota by 3. San Diego State would beat Marshall. Alabama, they would fall to Virginia. Georgia would fall to Michigan State. Oklahoma would fall to Florida. And now we get into some of the bigger bowl games. The Gator Bowl, Notre Dame versus Miami. Convicts versus Catholics 2, kind of. And it's 32-29 Miami with the victory. They fall short of the national championship after winning that thing back-to-back seasons. South Carolina would lose to Purdue. West Virginia, they would lose to Ole Miss by 1. Penn State would lose to Washington. Washington could be a very, very highly ranked team next season. Texas A&M, regular Texas. Texas would fall to Maryland, and then Nebraska would fall to Tennessee in the national championship game. So the Vols, y'all have a championship. Congratulations. Anyways, now it is time to move on to the off season, and this is our budget, same budget from last year. I think it worked out, and I think we're kind of in that same mode of kind of retooling, not just rebuilding. Lambert's going to transfer. I'm going to allow that, and Trent Blair is going to go pro, and if you've been rocking with me for a long time, I'm going to allow that as well. I'm not going to fight that. I'm not going to sit you down and talk to you. I'm not about to Pete Carroll, Mark Sanchez. That is not going to happen. You want to go pro? I hope nothing but the best for you. We're going to be losing Bishop, who's our starting strong safety. Going to be losing Bailey, our right guard. Bullock, who is always like our third corner. He's moving on. Gold, moving on. Walker, McCauley, TJ Peterson, Woods, Chambers, Moss. We are losing some of the best players, best talent that we've had. Long and Ely are also going. They will probably make it to the NFL. I would think that they would, but they're definitely graduating with that degree, depending if you feel like that's a good thing or a bad thing. I think having something on your name or something with your name on it that can help you in your life is a good thing, despite the cost. And, of course, these guys are on scholarship, obviously. So those were our team needs. Quarterback is a need, so I'm going after the best quarterback in the country. He's from Connecticut, but there's no like real East Coast team, so I'm like, yo, I'm going to throw my shot in there because we need a quarterback. We have 2 Elite 11 guys on the roster, but we could always use a third to like redshirt and rebuild and think of the future. We'll see if that works out. Got a couple of corners. Rhodes, he is from Florida. He's looking at Ohio State, Miami, Tennessee, and Oklahoma. Miami is number 3 on the list, so he might not be so inclined to stay in state. Al Smith from South Carolina. He's looking at Notre Dame, South Carolina, USC, and Maryland, and obviously us. Then Jeff Etz, he's looking at us as well. Ryan Alexander, big center from VA, looking at us. This 3-star quarterback from Alabama, we're on top of his list as of right now. So I hope that we can land some of these guys. Romeo, I believe, was an middle linebacker from Ohio. Ohio State's on his list, so it's going to be an uphill battle versus them because they're one of the best programs, obviously. And they have, the pull from being in the same state. So we're going to see what we can do. These are guys that we already have. So we already have 5 guys that have signed, and we do not sign Corey Doherty. He will be going to USC, number 1 player in the whole nation, regardless of position. We're going to miss out on Javon Miller from Illinois, going to be staying in the Big Ten territory. Darren Rhodes will go to Miami. Ryan Alexander will stay in Virginia, go to University of Virginia. King is going to stay in Alabama, playing at Auburn. And Martin, excuse me, I was about to say Merritt, but Martin, he's going to be staying in Florida playing for the University of Miami. These are the guys that we did find or sign. We got the number 1 and number 2 corners, 2 5-star corners, shut down city, no fly zone. We got Ryan Wright, obviously, got Campbell, got Owens, got Nugent, right? Then we also got Winbush, we got Williams, we got Osborne, who's an athlete. And I would like to have a running back. There was no running back that wanted to play for us. There was nobody that had us in their top 5. And I was like, geez, it's dark days. But I know my problem. I could not have 2 guys share carries like I typically do. So we're going to have to change that up. USC, they had the number 1 class. And then we had a top 30 class, top 20 class. Where do we fall? Right there at number 19. Number 19 with only 13 signees. So, hey. Is what it is. We got the job done, kind of. Anyways, Doherty, the number 1 prospect, going to USC. Number 2 prospect, Rogers, halfback, going to Florida. Woods, he is a strong safety. Then you got Garrison going to Michigan State. Cook is going to Florida. Woods going to, I believe he's going to Ohio State as well. Williamson going to Louisville. Bush going to OU. And then the number 10 prospect, halfback, Colvin, also going to OU. We're going to be moving Peter Marcus to right end. And we're going to be moving Osborne to tight end. He's a 74 overall tight end. Our tight end room is looking very, very good as of right now. Here goes some of the breakout athletes on the program. These guys had a great summer and spring. That is a good look right in time for the NFL draft. Again, we're going to be doing that episode fairly soon here. If it doesn't drop today, again, look for it tomorrow. Matt Brown, I'm expecting big things from him. It looks like Austin Leonard will be our starter. Derek, he is a junior, redshirt junior, and that does give him a little bit of pull with me because when you go on the road versus tougher opponents, my oh my. Oh, and speaking of that, you guys can pick the schedule if you want to. Let me know who you want to see on the schedule this season. Please, please, please. Let me know, or I'm going to just pick the schedule again. It's not a big deal. This is one of the bigger moves right here. Zach Bask, he is now the 5th best receiver, but I'm going to let him ride in that 4th spot. And hopefully Al Smith is not too mad at me, but he will get some catches. He will get some targets this season. That is the goal. We spread things out. Yes, we do run the ball. Yes, we do try to get our fullbacks involved. However, we know what we are good at, and that is throwing the football down the field. Wilson is now one of our best players. When he was a freshman, he was a little bit of a liability, along with our right tackle Rollins, because when we went on the road, we could not stop the pass rush at all. When we were at home, it got a little bit better, but now these two are 2 of the best players on the roster so far. Defense could still use some work. Right end, left end could use some work, but they're both young guys. Sims looks to be a beast. He's been in the program for a long time. He's finally going to get his chance to start, which I love to see. You don't see that too much in college football anymore, people sticking it out, but when sometimes it works out for you. Wilson, he is 88 overall, followed by Flowers, and then Alfred, 99 overall speed. Absolutely ridiculous. Cornerbacks, they look athletic. They look like they can ball out. Hopefully that will be the case. Josh Jackson is 84 overall. He's been a starter, I believe, 3 years now in a row. Roger Owens, he's coming in as a freshman. He is going to be our starter. And I will go through and redshirt the guys that I need to redshirt because some guys, we got a couple of freshmen at strong safety. I don't want both of them to be losing their eligibility at the same time. This is our last year for our kicker and our punter, but you can't recruit kickers and punters in the in-season process, believe it or not. So these are the guys that we are going after. I just went after team needs again. I could have went after a quarterback, but I was like, I'm going to ride with these guys and revisit quarterback during the offseason. I want to get some of these positions locked up and locked in, and in-season is the best way to do that. So we might one year just focus on nothing but halfbacks to try to get that halfback room up, but we'll see what happens. Here are your Heisman hopefuls to start this season. And I hope that they don't win it because I hope it's somebody from Georgia Southern. Campbell, he is first team independent. Nobody was first team or second team All-American, but we did have some guys on the first team and second team independent. It's basically just us and Notre Dame. You got Army in there, you got Temple in there, but yeah. Those are the 4 teams who are independent, but it's really just us and Notre Dame that's on top of that list. Washington is the number 1 team in the nation, followed by Miami, then USC, Tennessee, Florida State, Maryland. Nebraska is ranked number 7, Florida is ranked number 8, followed by Texas A&M at 9, Iowa is 10, Penn State's 11, Virginia is 12, Oklahoma is 13, Texas is number 14, Texas Tech is number 15, followed by Washington State, Virginia Tech, Purdue, South Carolina, Michigan State at number 20, Ohio State, Michigan, Minnesota, Ole Miss, and then UCLA is ranked number 25, and we are just outside the top 35 at number 36. And this might be the best roster that we had. B overall, B minus overall offense, and a B for defense, B plus special teams. That's going to do it. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. I do hope that the rest of the day is the best of your day. Peace, love. Hot sauce.